good. And I want to look at your part too.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you rather play your part or the piece?
I'll play my part.
Okay.
So I can show how amazing it is.
Right.
No, it's probably not. And I forgot to put these needs.
No, you're not interpreting it correctly. Let me show you. Okay, ready? And.
There's supposed to be a 2-5 in the end.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, very cool. So that's, I mean, it's just a fun way to kind of explore the harmony, and hopefully it wasn't too taxing. They had all those quarter notes and half note or two.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
I don't know how much.
Just trying to think, is there anything else? Okay, so here's something else. So this relates to performance more, but we can at least have this discussion. And I don't really want to get into this whole sort of sense of performing yet, but I think this might be interesting to talk about. Try to come up with as many different kinds of mistakes that are possible to make as you play this. So just like brainstorm a list. And just start. You can start with the very obvious ones.
You could miss notes, miss rhythms,
Okay.
miss dynamics.
So let's say when we say notes, let's say pitches.
Pitches, yeah.
Miss pitches. Miss rhythms.
Miss dynamics, miss articulations. You could skip measures. I think that's probably rhythms. It's under rhythms. You could look really bad while doing it.
Okay. But I think that's the main thing. Now, this piece doesn't really have any written instructions, fermatas, ritardandos, accelerandos, things like that. But those are the kinds of things that you can miss. All right. So to that list, which I think is a very good and appropriate list for this, can we add tempo mistake?
Yes.
Okay. So basically. So I guess what I'm asking is there a difference between a rhythm mistake and a tempo mistake?
Well, I guess there are. I think we went over this a little bit based on when we were deciding how fast is the fastest we can play this song. I mean, it does to make sense to play this song, which I'm not sure where we got, and it also makes sense that if we played it performed it really slowly.
Did we have that conversation? Did I tell you that I had 3 people who know a lot more about this than I do disagree with me about the tempo? We talked about that? Okay. So they, it's funny, they all consistently said, about 112. And I was thinking 120, 126. So, I was wrong.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's another thing you said. It was either you, I'm sure you said it, and then I said it in my 18 music theory, someone's allegro could be way different than someone else's, could be the same as someone's moderato. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that can be true.
So yeah, there's just a lot of leeway with it. So.
Yeah, no, especially if you're breaking it down to BPM. But yeah, absolutely. What I meant by that though is speeding up and slowing down in an unintentional way.
Yeah,
that's really what I was getting at. Although you're picking incorrect tempo is and we're not really getting into musicality mistakes, but we should probably mention that too. And there, I don't know if I really want to talk about differentiating the different kinds of musicality mistakes, but let's just say that there are musicality mistakes to be made. Okay, so can you tell me the difference, or maybe play me the difference between a rhythm mistake and a tempo mistake, in the sense that I meant it, of tempo?
I don't know if I can do. Let's just start right here. So I guess rhythm mistake would be if I played this. I don't know, maybe.
Good. So that's a rhythm, but not a tempo mistake.
Yeah.
Now, can you make a tempo but not rhythm mistake?
So it's like I'm gonna need to like kind of do.
Sure.
these
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like playing this part.
Right, so that's not really a rhythm mistake,
Yeah.
because these are clearly eighth notes, and the way you pulse it makes it clear what's going on. But there's cello. Yeah. So exactly. Okay. So let me ask you this: of all those kinds of mistakes, so tempo, rhythm, pitch, dynamics, articulation, musicality, that are relevant to this, which do you think are most disruptive to the listener? Which is not necessarily yourself, but not you as a performer, but if you're imagining yourself sitting in the audience.
I think people will at first. Well, I guess it depends. Like obvious rhythm mistakes and obvious pitch mistakes, I think stand out a lot. But also, if it doesn't sound very musical, I think that's also that's something that's since it's harder to do, and people, I don't know, expect music to be musical, sound musical. I don't know. That's
okay. So let's see if we can order our list here. So you thought. So I'll just write them out. So pitches, rhythms, tempo, dynamics, articulations. Musicality. Okay, so and again, and there's some depending. I mean, there are any serious mistake is probably worse than a not so serious mistake.
I think dynamics is probably one of the lowest though, because they don't I think you can probably get away with playing all the dynamics opposite of what they would be and still have it sound somewhat. So I think dynamics is probably the lowest.
Okay.
I think. I guess in piano it doesn't really matter, but I think an intonation mistake would be.
Oh yeah.
With,
okay, so that's right.
Yeah,
Let's ignore that for now.
Yeah.
But yeah. If your piano's out of tune, then
yeah, I guess you can't really
it's
do
all over
anything about that. I think you can also get away with. I think articulations would be the next lowest.
Okay.
The less least influential, I guess. But,
okay.
Then probably tempo is then rhythm.
Okay.
And probably musicality, I think, and pitch. And these two are not so.
Okay, it's okay. I don't think they're right answers. Let me see. I haven't I've thought about this a little bit, but I haven't ordered the list. So I made 6 the highest. The way that I would order this would be, I think, 6. So for me, the tempo.
0 for 6.
No, I mean,
they're kind of close.
And this is, I think this is fairly subjective, but I think if you don't provide a tempo, if your time is not good, if your tempo is all over the place, it's really hard for the audience to relate.
Yeah, I think.
At a very basic level, we're rhythmic creatures when it comes. That's what we hear in music. So even though like we said, this is not a march, it's a stroll, but we have to have the listener stroll with us, and if we miss a step, then it can really throw off the listener. So that's how I feel about that. And again, kind of going along with that, rhythm mistakes. So again, they're
just obvious mistakes.
serious and
more obvious.
unserious. pitches is really tricky because you can play a really dissonant pitch,
Yeah.
but it's really amazing. Like I think you can really get away with with a lot. If everything else sounds good, I mean, we focus on pitch a lot, but you can really get away with a lot. And if you play a note that's consonant, then it's almost unnoticeable.
Yeah.
Like you'll notice it as a performer. You'll go, oh God, but most of the time. And so I think it can be interesting to, if you have a friend who's not, like it's a music, I don't know, like a music friend, and you play something like this, and you'll know what you did wrong, and you say it to him or her, what parts of that didn't sound good to you, and my guess is that you'll get quite a different answer from what you think. You have to make sure this is an honest person.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about hurting your feelings. This is where I really kind of struggle a little bit. I don't know. Were you talking about dynamics? So I agree with you in large part about dynamics.
Yeah. I think articulations, like, since you don't know, like you can't really be sure, like the audience doesn't really know what articulations it's supposed to be. I mean, if you go like way out of, I think that's like the thing. If
you're very inconsistent, that's one thing. But I mean, I'm not talking about misinterpretation. I'm talking about mistakes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's sort of an interesting thing to think about is what throws off the listener, and just as you work towards performing it, you kind of have to keep that in mind, and we can talk more about that later. All right. Well, we managed to spend an hour and a half on this again, so.